In this slideshow, we're going to look at the basic concepts of international business. We hear this word globalization a lot, and just what is it, what it is about, what's a process that's going on, and it involves a deepening relationship and broadening interdependence among people from different parts of the world. Example of this would be the car industry. Many years ago, American cars were made with parts obtained entirely within the U.S. Now cars are assembled in many different countries with parts from many different sources. America, Japan, Germany, France, Italy, Korea, also Mexico, Brazil, and Argentina. So this industry has become globalized. Another example is the sports industry. If you look at the major leagues, baseball players are from many countries, including the USA, Dominican Republic, Venezuela, Mexico, Canada, Japan, Taiwan, the Netherlands. And we now have a World Baseball Classic every 4 years with a lot of countries playing baseball that we didn't even know played baseball before. Benefits of globalization are that you get a greater variety of products, you get higher quality products because you can get them from, whoever can make them most effectively, and you get lower prices because of the competition. But there are criticisms of globalization. It's not all good. In this process, countries lose sovereignty, meaning they lose control over their own activities within their country. The economic growth that results from this is hurting the environment in many places, especially with the destruction of forests and the increase in carbon into the air. And everywhere there are people that lose from globalization while others gain. People lose their jobs because of competition from other countries, and people gain and make a lot of money. So income inequality around the world is growing as a result of globalization. Why do companies engage in international business? Three main reasons, really. To expand sales, meaning they get into markets outside the limits of their own country. To acquire resources. Early example of that is companies going out into the world looking for oil and other natural resources. But they're also acquiring human resources such as labor, cheap labor in China and other places. And they go international in order to minimize risk, meaning they diversify and have operations in many countries instead of just one country. There are several different ways of doing international business. There's trade of goods and services between countries, known as international trade. There's investment, direct investment, which is where money flows into a country to buy a business or build a business. Or portfolio investment, which is money chasing the highest return in financial markets around the world. This is short-term investment, and it's also got a nickname of hot money. There's licensing, which is where a company has a technology it licenses to another company and collects a royalty in return. Or franchising, which is very, very important in the soft drink business and fast food business, where McDonald's, Coca-Cola, and others, where business is done internationally through franchises. Transportation and tourism. We know about the international airlines, and we see the ads for tourism around the country. That has grown enormously. And then there are management contracts too. The hotels you see around the world are under management by companies with names like Marriott and Hilton and so on. What makes international business different from domestic business? Well, there are four main factors here. They're cultural factors, and we're going to talk about them in the next chapter. They're political and legal factors. They're economic factors, and these differences make international business more challenging than domestic business. It's a lot harder, really, to do international business than domestic business. But the returns are higher. And sometimes it's riskier to avoid challenges than it is to embrace them. Now, take the quiz on this slideshow by clicking on the Quiz on Slideshow icon, which is right below the icon you clicked on to view this slideshow. I think it's most effective if you do that now, so you can see what you learned from this slideshow.